This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. Consult qualified safety and legal professionals for your specific situation. Landing on OSHA's Severe Violator Enforcement Program log is a highly public declaration of a company's safety failure. The operational impact hits almost immediately. General contractors routinely screen for this designation, and being listed often triggers automatic disqualifications from bids and a rapid loss of clientele. Your placement triggers mandatory follow-up inspections. Federal inspectors will move beyond the site of the original violation to scrutinize multiple locations across your entire corporate network. When this happens, companies tend to panic. They assume the SVEP listing is a permanent corporate death sentence, but an objective, mechanical path out actually exists. We are going to evaluate the exact inputs required to move from blacklisted to compliant. We will map the specific trade-offs between the standard 3-year removal strategy and the expedited 2-year strategy. Escaping the SVEP blacklist is not a passive waiting game. It requires deliberate executive action to choose between two distinct recovery timelines. The standard path for SVEP removal is a 3-year probationary period. Many companies operate under the misconception that this is merely a chronological waiting penalty, assuming the clock starts the day the citation is issued. The reality is much harsher. The 3-year removal clock does not even begin until OSHA receives and physically verifies your final abatement of the hazards. If you choose to contest citations in prolonged legal battles, or if you simply delay the physical fixes, you are actively extending your company's sentence on the blacklist and delaying recovery. The strategic alternative is to elect an enhanced settlement agreement. Choosing this route reduces your mandatory SVEP term to exactly 2 years. To get that 2-year exit, you have to accept a significant trade-off. Your company legally binds itself to implement a comprehensive safety and health management system, and you grant OSHA unfettered access to your internal injury logs. This penalty table from an actual settlement shows how the financial upside factors in. By agreeing to an enhanced settlement, the original proposed penalties are significantly reduced, dropping a nearly $287,000 fine down to $200,000 to offset upfront compliance costs. Fighting the timeline in court costs vastly more in lost business and extended probation than investing upfront in the expedited 2-year settlement track. Surviving that 2-year enhanced settlement path requires your organization to fully implement the 7 pillars of a safety and health management system. These core pillars force management leadership to connect directly with active worker participation, creating a systemic loop for identifying hazards before they cause injury. Looking at the clauses in this agreement, you can see the specific executive and financial commitments mandated by OSHA. The employer must hire a dedicated safety director and spend at least $50,000 in a single year on safety. Moving further into the document, the company must also establish a toll-free anonymous reporting number and a quarterly labor management safety committee. Safety directors face a difficult executive reality here. These upfront investments are a cheaper alternative to the continuous bleed of SVEP penalties and lost subcontractor bids. Achieving true compliance under this program is an expensive, friction-heavy process. It requires every worker and manager to overhaul how they identify hazards daily, leaving no room for superficial fixes. To meet OSHA's 2-year exit criteria, your internal progress has to be proven. That brings us to the non-negotiable requirement of third-party verification. You are required to hire independent, external, certified safety professionals or certified industrial hygienists to conduct rigorous audits of your operations. The trade-off is straightforward. You pay external experts to dig into your facilities, and when they uncover expensive, deep-rooted issues, you are legally obligated to fix them without hiding anything from OSHA. Furthermore, this implementation and verification must extend to every company location. OSHA requires this systemic rollout far beyond the single facility where the initial severe violation occurred. The uncompromising trust mechanism of independent audits prevents a company from hiding its hazards, while simultaneously inoculating the organization against crippling multi-site OSHA inspections in the future. When you reach the end of your term, you must apply for removal. This requires submitting a formal petition backed by flawless documentation of your abatement, toolbox talks, and training records. The exit window only opens when you meet 5 exact requirements: all hazards abated, all final penalties paid, every settlement provision completed, 0 new serious related citations, and 1 past follow-up inspection. Submitting this petition triggers OSHA's final evaluation. Inspectors will return to your site to conduct a highly scrutinized mandatory follow-up inspection. This is a critical danger point. Failing this final follow-up inspection or receiving a new serious citation instantly resets the clock and revokes your rehabilitation status. The core trade-off is clear. The standard 3-year path is a perilous, reputation-bleeding waiting game. The 2-year enhanced settlement is an aggressive, costly, but permanent cure to a toxic safety culture. Without boardroom support, a company will struggle to survive the standard path. With executive buy-in, the 2-year settlement is the optimal route to recovery. From blacklisted to compliant, it's a difficult journey, but with the right strategy, strong leadership, and consistent execution, thousands of companies have successfully made it. Your company can too. If you want to learn more about OSHA enforcement, SVEP compliance, and advanced safety leadership, subscribe to the HSEstudy YouTube channel. Escaping SVEP comes down to choosing short-term financial pain to secure your long-term survival, stopping the corporate bleed before it's too late.